What if everything we thought about escaping FROMville was wrong? Not because there was never a way out, but because the answer has been hidden inside Jade all along. For 4 seasons, the town kept him distracted with symbols, visions, voices, and fear. But now, something has changed. Jade didn't just remember pieces of the past, he remembered the ending. The way out. The one path every version of him failed to complete. And if what he saw is real, then this changes everything. Because escaping FROMville was never about finding the road, it was always about finishing the ritual. Jade waking up from that vision may be the biggest turning point in the entire story. For the first time, he isn't confused. He isn't chasing clues blindly.
He knows something.
Something dangerous. And that's what makes this moment so terrifying. Because every time Jade got close before, he died. Not by monsters. Not by creatures in the night. But by the people around him. The people he was trying to save. That changes the entire meaning of the town. For years, we thought the monsters were the main threat. They hunt, they smile, they kill. But the deeper truth has always been worse. The monsters are just the outer layer. The real machine underneath FROMville is built on fear. Fear that spreads through people. Fear that turns neighbors into enemies. Fear that makes survivors destroy the one chance they have at freedom. And Jade has finally seen that pattern. The vision wasn't random. Every piece mattered. The violin.
The blood.
The child's voice. The 7 stones. Those weren't symbols. They were instructions.
Think about it.
The violin has followed Jade since the beginning. Music keeps unlocking memories. The bottle tree melody. The nursery rhyme. Even the sounds the children make. None of that is accidental. Music in this town isn't just sound. It's a key. A trigger. A bridge between memory and reality. And Jade now understands that. His childhood memory with his grandmother was not there to make him emotional. It was there to remind him what music means. When she died, he kept playing because he couldn't face reality. That tells us something important. Music has always been Jade's escape. But now, for the first time, music might become everyone's escape. That's the twist. What if the way out of FROMville isn't physical at all? What if it's emotional, spiritual, something tied to the children themselves? Because the children are the center of everything. Ever since season 1, they've been calling out, appearing in visions, leading Tabitha, pulling Jade closer.
And now we know why.
They aren't random ghosts. They are victims. The first victims, sacrificed so the town could become what it is. That means the town was built on unfinished pain. And unfinished pain always demands closure. Jade's vision showed him the exact place where it began. The chamber beneath the stones. The burial place. The original crime scene. That location matters because in stories like From, origins are everything. To break a curse, you have to return to where it started. That's why Jade, remembering the path, changes everything. For the first time, someone knows exactly where to go. But getting there is the easy part. The hard part is surviving the people. Because now Jade knows what happened in every cycle. Every time the children chose him, the town turned against him. That means the town itself protects the cycle. Not consciously, but through panic. Through manipulation. Through fear. And now we have Sophia. Sophia's actions in episode 5 feel small on the surface, but they're dangerous. She's planting doubt. Turning people against Tabitha. Questioning every strange thing that happens. That's how it starts. If Jade reveals what he knows too early, Sophia could become the spark that starts the next betrayal. And if history repeats itself, Jade dies again. That's why his silence matters now. He cannot tell everyone. He cannot explain the plan. He cannot ask for help. Because the moment too many people know, the cycle activates. That's what makes this different from every escape attempt before. Boyd tried force. Tabitha tried digging. Jim tried logic. Randall tried anger. But Jade now understands that escape doesn't come from fighting the town. It comes from understanding it. And understanding it means understanding the children. Because what if saving them and escaping are the same thing? What if the children aren't trapped inside FROMville? What if FROMville is trapped around them? That idea changes everything. If FROMville exists because of the children, then freeing them may not just weaken the town, it may erase it completely. And suddenly, Jade's vision starts making even more sense. Look at the 7 stones. That number keeps appearing again and again. 7 children. 7 stones. 7 cycles of sacrifice. This is not decoration. It's structure. Like 7 locks on a prison. Each stone may represent a piece of the ritual that keeps the town alive. And if Jade is right, breaking that ritual could collapse the whole system. But there's something darker, hiding inside this. The town doesn't just trap bodies. It traps memory. That's the real weapon. Every time Jade and Tabitha are reborn, they forget. They start over. They have to rebuild the truth from scratch. That's why the cycle survives. It doesn't need to kill everyone. It only needs to make them forget long enough for history to repeat. And now that Jade remembers, he's become the single most dangerous person in FROMville. Not to the monsters, to the force behind them. That's why the vision ended the way it did.
The grave.
That moment wasn't just showing him death. It was showing him consequence. Every version of Jade who reached this truth ended in that darkness, buried before they could finish what they started. It's almost like the town was warning him. Keep going, and this is where you end.
But Jade has changed.
Season 1 Jade was selfish, arrogant, obsessed with solving the puzzle because he wanted to prove he was smarter than everyone else.
But now?
This isn't about ego anymore. This is personal. He understands the pain behind the mystery. He understands the children are real. He understands that every scream, every death, every nightmare is connected to one original mistake. And for the first time, he feels responsible. That makes him dangerous in a different way. Because this version of Jade might actually be willing to sacrifice himself. And that may be exactly what the ritual needs.
Think about it.
Every cycle failed because Jade was stopped before completion. But what if the final step requires him to stay until the end? To face the chamber. To play the song. To release the children no matter what happens to him. That would explain why the town keeps trying to remove him. Not because he can escape, but because he can end it. And then there's Tabitha. Her memories are waking up too. That's important because Jade was never meant to do this alone. The story has made that clear. Across every lifetime, these two are connected. 2 halves of the same mission. If Jade is the one who remembers the path, Tabitha may be the one who remembers the method. And episode 5 hinted at that. The Scarecrow dolls triggered something inside her. A flash of knowledge. Not fear. Recognition. That means her past self may have learned something Jade never did. Maybe how to hurt the creatures. Maybe how to protect the ritual. Or maybe something even bigger. Maybe Tabitha knows who created the town. Because someone had to start this. Someone made the deal. Someone offered the children. And if that force is still alive, that may be the man in yellow. He has been in the background for too long to ignore. Watching. Waiting. Almost like he's maintaining the system. Not a monster. Not human. Something older. Something tied directly to the sacrifice. And if Jade moves toward the chamber, the man in yellow will know. That means time is running out. Because once the town realizes Jade has remembered, everything will accelerate. The monsters will become more aggressive. The visions will get stronger. The paranoia will spread faster. We've seen this before. The closer someone gets to truth in FROMville, the harder the town pushes back. That's not random. That's defense. It's like the entire place is alive. Like it can feel danger. And right now, Jade is the biggest danger it has ever faced. But here's the terrifying part. Knowing the truth doesn't mean knowing how to survive it. Jade has the map. Tabitha may have the method. But Boyd may be the deciding factor. Because Boyd is the only person who has survived direct contact with the deeper layers of this place and kept moving.
He has seen Martin.
He has seen the worms. He has touched things no one else understands. And that means Boyd might be the only person strong enough to protect Jade on the way down. The problem is, Boyd is breaking too. Physically, mentally, emotionally. And if Boyd falls before they reach the chamber, the entire plan dies with him. That's what makes the next episodes so dangerous. This is no longer about survival. This is about execution. The plan exists now. The only question is whether they can carry it out before the town realizes exactly what Jade remembers. And that is where everything becomes a race against time. Because FROMville has always followed one rule. The moment hope becomes real, something terrible happens to destroy it. Every time someone gets close to understanding the system, the town reacts. It shifts. It adapts. It punishes. And now, Jade has done something no one before him has fully accomplished. He remembered the truth and survived long enough to wake up. That alone breaks the pattern. But surviving the vision is only the beginning. Using what he learned is the real test. The biggest clue in Jade's memory isn't just the chamber. It's the order of events. First the music, then the blood, then the children, then the grave. That sequence matters. It feels like a ritual, step by step. And if that's true, then Jade doesn't just know where to go. He knows what has to happen once he gets there. And it may be worse than anyone expects. Because what if the blood wasn't symbolic? What if blood is the price? The original town sacrificed children for eternal life. That means the foundation of FROMville was built on blood. To undo something created with blood, there may have to be blood given back. Not innocent blood this time, willing blood. And Jade may already understand that. That would explain why his younger self begged him not to drink. Not because the truth would hurt him, but because the truth would demand something from him. Something permanent. This is where Jade's story becomes tragic. All this time, he was chasing answers like a puzzle. But now the puzzle has become a choice. Escape and sacrifice. Freedom and death. Save the children and possibly lose himself forever. And if that's the cost, will he pay it? That's the question Season 5 is building toward. Because Season 5 isn't about finding clues anymore. It's about consequences. Every secret is coming to the surface now. Tabitha remembering. Jade awakening. Boyd weakening. Sophia manipulating. The man in yellow watching. These aren't separate storylines. They are pieces of one final collision. And at the center of that collision are the children. They've been waiting for centuries. Not for just anyone. For Jade. That's what makes his role so terrifying. He was never random. He was chosen from the beginning. Every reincarnation, every death, every reset was pushing him toward this exact moment. The moment where he finally understands. And now that he does, the town will do everything it can to stop him. Expect division. Expect betrayal. Expect fear to spread faster than ever. Because once the truth starts leaking, nobody will stay calm. Some will want to follow Jade. Others will think he's insane. And that split could destroy the town before the monsters even get involved. That's how FROMville wins. Not through strength, through chaos. And Sophia may be the spark that lights it all. Her growing influence feels deliberate, almost like she's unknowingly becoming the town's weapon. Every lie she spreads pushes people further apart. Every doubt she plants weakens trust. And trust is the one thing Jade needs right now. Without trust, there is no mission. Without secrecy, there is no chance. And without speed, there is no future. Because the man in yellow won't wait. If he truly is the keeper of the cycle, then Jade's awakening is an act of war. That means the final battle has already started, even if nobody else realizes it yet. And this time, the monsters may not be hunting to kill. They may be hunting to delay.
To slow Jade down.
To keep him away from the chamber long enough for the town to turn on him again. That's the horrifying pattern. The town doesn't need to beat Jade. It just needs history to repeat. But what if this time it doesn't? What if this version of Jade is different? He has the memory. He has the map. He has Tabitha. He is Boyd. And most importantly, he has the knowledge of what went wrong before. That may be the one advantage no previous version ever had. And that changes the odds. For the first time in 4 seasons, escape feels possible. Not guaranteed. Possible. But in FROMville, possibility is dangerous. Because the closer you get to freedom, the more the darkness fights back. And now Jade stands closer to freedom than anyone ever has. The road out was never outside the town. It was buried underneath it. Under the stones. under the bones, under the truth. And now that truth has finally been remembered, the only question left is simple. Will Jade be the one who breaks the cycle, or just the next one swallowed by it?